I wanted to go over the setup and configuration of our doorbell camera. If you've been following along and watched our first video, you already have the camera mounted and powered on. If you haven't seen that video yet, you should check it out. I'll have that video link in the description down below. Okay, let's get started. The first thing we need to do is download the DMSS phone application to connect to the camera. Basically, everything is configured right over the phone app, so let's go to the App Store or the Play Store if you're on an Android and download the DMSS app. Once DMSS is installed, let's open up the app. I would suggest allowing notifications here, so I'm going to hit allow. Swipe through the tutorial and select your region. And let's agree to the terms and conditions to proceed. You'll need to sign up for an account to get full access to all the features, so let's hit sign up at the bottom. Let's hit skip at the bottom if this is the first time you're using the app. Enter in your email and password for your account. Be sure you sign up with an email that you have access to so you can confirm your account. Enter in your email and password and hit get verification code. This is going to send a code to the email that you provided that you need to input on the next screen. Once you get that email, enter your code and hit OK. Next, let's set a username for your account. Okay, now the account is all set up. Let's move on to adding the doorbell. Click Add Device and allow access to your camera so you can scan the QR code on the doorbell. There's two places you can scan the code from, one on the back of the doorbell or on the box that the doorbell came in. Once the QR code is scanned, you might want to just make sure that the serial number that you see listed there matches up to the serial number on the label. If everything looks good, you can hit Next. By now, your doorbell should be powered on, and after about a minute or so, you'll hear
Wi-Fi hotspot is enabled.
And the doorbell light should be either solid blue or slowly flashing blue. After you hear the prompt and see the light on the front, you can click Next. The doorbell will broadcast a Wi-Fi hotspot to temporarily connect to. Click Join or navigate to your Wi-Fi settings and connect to your doorbell. Now let's set a password for the doorbell. Click Next after your password is entered. Next, we need to connect to your Wi-Fi. This is how the doorbell will connect to the internet for remote access. Select your personal Wi-Fi SSID and enter in your personal Wi-Fi password. Click Next when you're all done. Once the connection has been made, enter a name for your doorbell camera and click Save. Next, set your time zone and daylight savings time, and hit Next. If you're using a third-party mechanical or electronic chime, you can add that here. However, we're going to be adding our Wi-Fi chime included in this kit. You can skip this part for now, and we'll set that up in a moment. You'll be brought to the live view of your doorbell camera, and the setup is all complete. Your doorbell camera records video and audio right out of the box to the SD card that's pre-installed, so there's no need to configure anything additional. From the main screen, you can watch playback video by clicking on the playback at the top. Tap on one of the plus signs and select your doorbell. The doorbell will begin playing back any motion events that you have recorded for that day selected. You can select different days by tapping on the date region, and any day that has a blue dot next to it will have playback video on it. And scrolling through the timeline, you'll see these little blue lines indicating that there's recorded video. If you just installed the camera, you may not have anything yet, but most likely you got some flattering video of yourself mounting the camera in place. You can double tap on the video to full screen it, and even change the orientation on the phone to make it a wide angle. Let's exit the playback video by clicking on the back arrow at the top left of the screen. You can configure some additional features by tapping on the three dots next to your device. Click on Device Details. You can add customized quick responses and record your own audio. Just simply allow access to the microphone and hit the green checkbox when you're all done. Set a name for your custom response and hit Save. Adjust the volume of the alarm audio or the two-way talk audio. Enable the LED light when motion is detected, and change the brightness. You can also change the time zone from here. In the event that someone presses the doorbell camera, you're going to receive a notification on your phone to answer the doorbell and communicate over your phone. Just simply answer the call. All the calls and all human detection will get logged in the history of the app. Okay, now that the doorbell's all set up, let's set up the wireless chime. The setup is almost the same as setting up a doorbell camera. First, let's plug in the chime into a wall outlet and wait for it to say, Wi-Fi hotspot is now enabled. This normally takes about a minute.
Wi-Fi hotspot is enabled.
Head back to the home screen of the DMSS app and click the Add button at the top right of the screen. Select SN Scan and scan the QR code found on the box the chime came in or on the chime itself. We're going to add this chime to our account, so let's make sure that's highlighted and click Next. By now, the green light should be illuminated on the chime. If it is, you can click Next. Let's join the chime hotspot to set it up. Enter a password for your chime and click Next. Next, we need to connect to the Wi-Fi. This is how the chime will connect to your doorbell. Select your personal Wi-Fi SSID and enter your personal Wi-Fi password. Click Next when you're done. Last, let's enter a name for the chime and click Save. Enter in your time zone and click Next. Your chime has now been added to your account. There's one final step before we're all done. We need to link the chime to your doorbell. So let's head back to the device details of the doorbell. Scroll down to Chime Link and select the chime that you just added. Save the configuration and you're all set. You can also enter the device details of the chime and change the tone and the output volume. Now when someone rings your doorbell, it's going to ring through the wireless chime and also on your phone. You can add as many additional chimes into the mix as you'd like. Just purchase additional chimes and repeat these steps. The last thing I want to show you guys in the configuration is adding the video stream to a network video recorder. One of the great features of having one of our doorbell cameras is that you can record the stream and store it on an NVR. Once the doorbell's been configured and is working inside of your network, you'll need to head to your camera list inside of your recorder. Search for any devices and find the doorbell inside of your network. Note that your doorbell camera and your recorder would need to be inside of the same network in order for this to work. I named my doorbell camera My Doorbell, so I can see it in this list easily. I'll go ahead and add it and enter the password. If the network conditions are met and the password is correct, you'll see your video stream added to your system. No more monthly fees. You can cancel that subscription now. It's worth noting that if you have a newer DVR or XVR unit from us, you can add an IP channel to your system. Head to the camera settings and see if you have an option called Channel Type. If you can add an IP channel, here on the right hand side, you can add your doorbell camera stream. Enable the IP channel and head back to the camera settings. Search for your device, add it, and enter the password. It's a pretty nice feature on these newer DVR units. That wraps up the setup for the CSP-WDBK. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks for watching.